Alright, hello guys, how's it going? In today's video, we're going to be talking about that monster ridge out west that is creating that massive heat wave that we've also been dealing with for weeks and weeks and weeks out west, but we expect to still deal with for quite a few days or potentially weeks. I would like to remind you guys that yesterday we uploaded our first winter forecast video for the upcoming winter of 2021 to 2022. That's going to be on the top right corner of your screen right now, where you can click that. It'll open a new tab and open it up for you guys. I highly recommend you check that video out. For today's comment of the day, I want to know, how long do you think that the West is going to deal with this very hot pattern? Do you think they will ever get a break from this? Let me know when you expect that to occur in the comments down below, and I'll be picking one of those for tomorrow's video. Let's get straight into this video, and we're going to be taking a look at this in 1 day increments. This is today from the time I'm making this video, and as you can see, we've been dealing with some warmer than normal conditions out west. Understatement of the year, obviously. We see the four corner states, the Rockies, the West Coast. They're all dealing with these reds and oranges, and this is actually a huge relief from the heat, because they actually were dealing with temperatures that were nearly 50 degrees above normal. Now they're dealing with something a lot more like 10 to 20 degrees above normal, which would still be considered highly above normal, or potentially a major heat wave in some regions. But compared to what they were dealing with, which was a historically awful heat wave that they were dealing with just a couple of weeks ago, this is a bit of a relief. Let's move on to the next frame, and this is going to be day 2. This is going to be Saturday, July 10th. As you can see, things get a little bit warmer there for the western United States, actually. Four corner states, northwest, southwest, all of these regions. The reds is anywhere from about 10 to 15 degrees above normal, and those brown shades are about 15 to 30 degrees above normal here. So there is some far above normal temperatures still around, especially California there, actually, and then Nevada, I would say, is probably the second warmest here on this frame. Oregon is probably a close to second as well. You can see that the eastern United States is near normal, if not below normal, for most regions there. So this is a classic positive PNA pattern, and what that means is there's very warm temperatures along the western seaboard of North America, and that creates an increased chance at below normal temperatures moving into the eastern half of the country, which you can obviously see is the case here on this frame. So this is a very classic positive PNA pattern. Now, as we move towards Sunday, July 11th, I almost said June, you can see that in the western United States, not a lot has changed. We still see those darker reds, the browns around as well. This is just that continued monster ridge with the very major heat waves still around, and this has just been, I mean, this is no joke, guys. This has been going on for so long now, and the worst part is I actually have friends that are very close family friends here in Virginia that are from Seattle, Washington. They still have a lot of family up there, obviously. Many folks do not have AC, and the problem with that is they don't have AC. You obviously can't get AC put in, 1 week in advance, which is probably the amount of time they had, if not, if that, really, I mean. And then they were dealing with like 115 degree temperatures on top of that, 100 plus for at least a week or more with no AC. Obviously, this is just a disastrous situation that they were dealing with. Now the temperatures are a little bit more closer to normal and a little less historic as far as the above normal temperatures are concerned, which is very good news. Now what we're going to do is we're going to move on towards Monday, July 11th, Tuesday, July 13th. We're going to take a look at some actual temperatures as well, and then we're just going to move on straight through the forecast all the way to days 10, so we can see if this pattern will ever flip and move away from this major heat wave they've been dealing with out west. So this is Monday, July 12th, and as you can see, we're still dealing with those reds and browns over the west. Look at the west coast, though, there along Oregon and Washington. Maybe some near normal temperatures finally moving in for you folks there along the western coast, which I've just heard is an absolutely stunning region. And actually, I've seen pictures, so I can tell you, it is a stunning region. I wish I can go there one day. I really hope to do so. I want to travel a lot of places. I've stayed mostly in the eastern United States. Actually, the furthest west I've ever gone, I just went, is Versailles, Kentucky. If you've ever been to Versailles, Kentucky, shout out to you guys, because that is the furthest west I've ever been. Really cool statistic there here from Direct Weather. Really interesting. I'm sure you guys really care about that, obviously. Anyway, jokes aside, the western United States, very hot still to this point, with maybe the exception of the West Coast, which is very good news for you folks out there. Look at the central United States, some pretty far below normal temperatures moving in as well. Again, positive PNAs can cause that to happen, so this is actually not too surprising. We have about 10 to 15 degrees below normal there for the central plains, even down through areas like New Mexico and Texas as well. The Northeast is a little bit above normal actually by that point, though. Let's go ahead and move on towards Tuesday, July 13th. And as you can see, again, just the heat wave is continuing out west still to this point. The colder than normal conditions are still pretty potent in the middle of the United States, although a lot of those greens have transitioned over to darker blues, which is still pretty far below normal, about 5 to 10 degrees below normal, which will be enough to kind of relieve you from that heat, which is good for most folks so far this summer. Some areas have been just not really dealing with the heat overall. Obviously, out west they have been. The Northeast has been so far. So, as far as the central United States is concerned, you guys will have to let me know in the comments down below if this is bad news or good news for you guys that we're dealing with the below normal temperatures. I would be curious to see how people feel. The Northeast is still dealing with those warmer than normal conditions by this point. Let's take a look at a couple frames of those actual temperatures for the western United States. This is for Friday kind of afternoon for you guys out there in the western United States. And as you can see, if you're anywhere in those brown shades, you're above 90 degrees, which for a heat wave to be official, you need 3 days or more of 90-degree temperatures. I'm sure most of these regions are going on like 2 weeks of 90-degree plus temperatures, which is just absolutely insane. Eastern Washington. I have a tendency, since I'm on the East Coast, to say western whenever I'm referring to like an inland area. So, like, even when I'm looking at the west, I think that the eastern portions of Washington and Oregon are west because they're further inland, just because that's my East Coast brain having, like, a brain fart. So if you ever hear me say that, that is why that happens. It's kind of like a glitch in my brain. But, sorry, the eastern regions of Washington and Oregon are dealing with those 90-degree plus temperatures. Thankfully, for the western, more coastal regions of Washington and Oregon, they're dealing with more around the 70s and lower 80s, which is obviously a very nice relief from that extreme heat wave you guys have been dealing with. Down in California, I can't say that there's much good news, though, because in the valley, and pretty much for most of the state, you're 90 degrees plus, but in the valley, you're looking at about 100 to 115 degree high temperatures for at least a few days there, which is obviously very, very extreme. Areas in Nevada, Arizona, that's not too surprising. Southern California, not as surprising as well. Utah as well. So these are areas where it's normal, but there in the valley is obviously not quite as normal, in my opinion, for sure. The next day, here's going to be July 10th. That's Saturday, the high temperatures, and look at that, 117. So we get some hotter temperatures on this day for the valley actually as well. Now what we're going to do is we're going to move on, and we're just going to move a little bit further in with this and move towards the longer range and see if this pattern ever breaks. Now, this is all according to our European model, by the way, so take it with a grain of salt. We are moving towards 5 to 6 to 7 days out, so it's a little bit more medium range, which means the accuracy will lower a little bit, but not too much. You're looking more at like 10 days plus for a sharp drop off in the accuracy. Here is going to be basically Wednesday, July 14th. And as you can see, those warmer than normal conditions out west are still there. They're just a little bit less potent. And look at the coasts, California, Washington, Oregon, a little bit of blue showing up. So that might be some good news. The Northeast is still warmer than normal. The Central is still colder than normal. Let's move towards day 6, which will be Thursday, July 15th. And look at that. The ridge in the west is breaking up a little bit more, especially starting with the coasts of California, Oregon, and Washington, where things have relieved even further. Even some below normal temperatures certainly moving in to the eastern regions of those states individually. And even on Friday, July 16th, it's moved away even further. And all of the areas that are in above normal temperatures are mostly just oranges here by this point, about 2 to 6 degrees above normal, as opposed to 10 to 15 to even 20 degrees above normal. So there will be some nice relief to it. Things start to warm up a little bit by Saturday, July 17th, though, as you can see. And then certainly by Sunday, July 18th, things warm up even further with some darker red showing up and browns again, mostly for the northern Rockies, though, this time. So hopefully this does not move further west towards the west coast at all, and hopefully it stays a little bit far away from there. You guys need some nice relief from it, to say the least. For today's confidence tab, we're at a 5 out of 6. I feel quite confident that this heat wave will at least be around for the next few days. You saw it on the models, and obviously the 5 days. The next 5 days are going to be a little bit higher accuracy because it's not too far out. That's actually the short range, to say the least. So I feel quite confident in that. So we're at a 5 out of 6 because of those reasons. For today's comment of the day, we uploaded our first winter forecast yesterday, which I highly recommend you check out, by the way. I asked you guys, what do you think this winter is going to be like? And James Marr said, I have a gut feeling it will be cold and snowy. It has a similar look to the 2017 to 2018 winter. And I do agree that a lot of those mid-2010 winters are pretty similar. I think 2014 to 2015 is also a really good comparison to what this upcoming winter looks like so far. Obviously, things can change drastically between now and the beginning of December. For today's patron highlight of the day, I want to thank you all for supporting the channel, but especially our platinum patrons, John Benbenick, James Wade, Dovin Nagel, Larry the Pan, and Donna Carnes, alongside our diamond patrons, Bill Roberts, Marcus Connolly, Noah Harley, Michael Codalessa, Catbite, Charles Stinnett, Cindy Klein, Mark J, Luke Flago, Gary's, John Colisi, Dwight Phelan, and Steven Crenenthal. If you would like to be a part of this Patreon end screen of the day, you can do so by joining our very exciting Patreon page in the description and in the pinned comments down below. I would also like to thank our channel members, Hair Farms 1 and Catbite as well. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Be sure to destroy the like button, leave a comment down below because those two things help my channel more than you could ever imagine. And also be sure to subscribe if you like weather-related content. I will see you guys in the next video.